Just a heads up. So Nvidia is having its GTC conference later today. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen. It's going to be at 4 p.m. Eastern time, or if you're here in the West Coast like myself. Unfortunately, I'm in Arizona, so this conference I think is being held in California. I think it's at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is what it's considered. So 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, NVIDIA conference, pretty much right when the market closes. This is going to go live. I wanted to ask you, I don't have to host the live stream. I was thinking about it. I don't know how long it's going to be. It might be like an hour to 2 hours long. But it'd be pretty interesting to catch the market's reaction because NVIDIA has so much hype. There's pretty big expectations, and I wanted to share some of them with you. This is according to Yahoo Finance. So what to expect from NVIDIA GTC 2024, successors for its AI chips. So again, just new developments, new architecture and GPU, and the AI chips for the Chinese market. The other thing is there any potential new mergers, partnerships that they're going to be announcing? And as well as there's a lot of different institutions that are changing their price targets. Some are actually raising it a lot higher than what NVIDIA is currently trading at right now. NVIDIA opened up at $924 or hit highs of $924 during today's trading session, but then quickly pulled on back to $883. I think, again, it's just trying to correct itself before anything gets announced. I want to remind you, NVIDIA is super hyped up. It's the new and shiny thing in Wall Street. That's the easiest way that I can put it. Its return has been absolutely insane. So one of two things: if it announces anything that was not already expected, and it's good news, then be ready. I mean, could it potentially make new highs? We've seen much more surprising moves from NVIDIA than for this thing not to be able to, hit highs of 974. Some people are talking about this thing being able to trade in the few thousands of shares. Are they going to announce a potential stock split that could make it cheaper for investors on the face value to be able to buy at a lower price per share? I mean, there's a lot of different ways on how this can go, but I'll leave it up to you guys. If this video gets over 1,000 likes, and you guys subscribe to the channel, I'd be more than happy to host that free live stream here on YouTube. And if not, I totally get it. I mean, feel free to watch it yourself, but I wanted you guys to be aware of what was expected, when it was going to be hosted, and how the market could potentially react. So again, the big focus today, and because of its market cap, 2.22 trillion. I mean, that's an insane market cap. And it definitely can influence markets. So if it all of a sudden begins to skyrocket or all of a sudden begins to drop, then just know that even though you might not be invested in NVIDIA because of its market cap and how it could influence the S&P 500 and NASDAQ, it could also drive the price down on those major indexes. So again, just wanted to make you aware, not for you to be scared, but just so you are prepared, right? So you can take time now to prepare in advance if you want to, carry your open positions that might be exposed to the risk, but also could be exposed to the potential upside if that's how the market ends up reacting. The other thing that I quickly wanted to talk about is I can't help but remind you, FOMC meeting, it's going to be this Wednesday. FOMC meeting, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I am going to be live streaming that. And again, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel. So FOMC meeting, for those that are not familiar with that, it's the rate decision. It's when they decide if they're going to raise interest rates, pause, or cut interest rates. Market's expectation is pretty much that they're going to pause, especially with the last inflation report not coming in as low as the market wanted to. So it's going to be very interesting to hear what Jerome Powell has to say, and also answering a lot of these, analysts' questions during that FOMC meeting. So I will be live streaming that, and that's going to be on Wednesday, 2 p.m. Eastern time. But other than that, as of right now, it looks like we're seeing some lower highs, lower lows. Again, market's simply correcting itself. The one that made me smile today is SMCI. SMCI went from 5% in the green, and it went from $1,147 all the way down to sub $1,000 per share. Again, just another reminder, SMCI is an extremely overhyped and overvalued company. It doesn't mean that it can't skyrocket. It does, but it tends to overreact on either side, right? I mean, you could see with this 15% sell-off, this is not a normal move that a normal stock would do, right? If NVIDIA begins to trade in a positive way, then be ready for SMCI to potentially skyrocket and potentially overreact. If NVIDIA begins to sell off, then maybe this 15% sell-off is nothing. We could see this thing drop 20, 30, 40%. We've seen it do it before, so it won't come at much of a surprise. But again, I'm going to keep you guys up to date, especially if you're part of my LPP team. I'm going to keep you guys up to date in the trade ideas where, again, they get updates on what it is that I'm paying attention to, especially based off of, these significant market events that we have in this week's schedule. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Feel free to comment down below. And if not, hopefully we'll see you guys for the NVIDIA GTC conference at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we'll leave it at that. Hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.